QR codes went from something people vaguely remembered in the early 2010s to something Australians scan multiple times a day. Restaurant menus, check-ins, payment terminals, packaging. COVID did more for QR code adoption in this country than a decade of marketing ever could. But most small businesses are still only using QR codes in their most basic way. They generate a free QR code, printed on a flyer, and that's it. They have no idea how many people are scanning it, whether it's actually driving any action, or whether the link it points to still works. Today, I want to show you the smarter way to use QR codes, how to create them, where to use them, and critically, how to track them so that you actually know what is working. What a QR code actually is and why tracking matters. A QR code is really just a visual representation of a URL. When someone scans it, their phone opens up that URL. The QR code itself does not do anything. It's the destination that matters. A basic QR code generated from a free tool points directly to your URL. When someone scans it, they go straight to your website or whatever the link leads to. Simple, but you get no data. You don't know if anyone actually scanned it. You don't know which piece of printed material it was on. You don't know if it drove any sales. A tracked QR code points to a redirect URL that logs the scan first, then sends the person to the destination. This gives you data. How many times it was scanned, when, on what device, in what location. That data is what lets you know whether the QR code on your flyer is working better than the one on your packaging, or whether the one at your market stall is generating more traffic than the one in your shop window. Free tools for creating basic QR codes. Canva. If you're already using Canva for design, this is the simplest option. In any Canva design, go to Apps, which is in the left sidebar, and search for QR code. Enter your URL and Canva generates a QR code that you can resize and style to match your design. You can change the color of the QR code to match your brand. QR code generator. One of the most widely used free QR code tools. You paste in a URL and it generates a QR code immediately. You can download it as a PNG or an SVG. The free version has no tracking. The paid version adds tracking and the ability to create a dynamic QR code, which we'll explain shortly. Adobe Express. Adobe Express has a free QR code generator built in that produces clean, customizable codes. If you have an Adobe account for any reason, this is worth knowing about. Static versus dynamic QR codes. This is the important distinction. A static QR code has the destination URL baked directly into the code. Once you print it, the destination can't be changed. If you print 500 flyers with a static QR code pointing to your old website, then you redesign your site with a new URL. All 500 flyers now point to a dead link. A dynamic QR code points to a redirect URL that you can update as many times as you need. The QR code itself stays the same, but you can change where it sends people. So you can print the code on a business card, a poster, packaging, whatever. And later, if you want to change the destination from a landing page to a specific product, from your website to a booking page, you just update and redirect. The printed code still works. Dynamic QR codes also gives you tracking. Every scan is logged. You can see how many people scanned it, when, and on what device. The catch? Dynamic QR codes require a paid tool. The main options are Bitly, QR Code Generator Pro, and Beacon Stack. Bitly is probably the most familiar. It's also a URL shortener, and the QR code feature sits alongside that. The paid plan starts from around $10 to $15 a month and cover most small business use cases. Setting up tracked QR codes with Bitly. Go to bitly.com and create an account. On the free plan, you can create a limited number of QR codes. On paid plans, the limit increases significantly. Click Create New, then QR code. Paste in the destination URL, your website, a specific product page, a booking link, whatever you want the code to point to. Give it a title so you can identify it later. Something like Winter Menu Flyer 2026 or Market Stall Counter Card. This matters because you'll end up with multiple QR codes over time and you need to know which is which in your analytics. Customize the design if you want. You can change the color or add a logo in the center of the code. Just be mindful of the contrast of the colors that you're using. If it's something with a really pale color, it's not going to pick up when someone goes to scan it. Once a code is live and you start getting scans, you can go to your Bitly dashboard and see total scans, scans over time, breakdown by device, and geographic location of scans. For a QR code on a printed flyer, this data tells you whether the flyer is generating real traffic, something you simply cannot know with a static code. Where to actually use QR codes in your business. Menu and price lists. Restaurant and cafe menus were the most visible use of QR codes during COVID, and a lot of businesses kept them. A QR code menu means you can update prices, add seasonal items, or flag sold out items without reprinting. It also means if your customers are coming with a group of mates, they can each order from a QR code and don't have to split the bill. Update the web page the code points to, and every printed code instantly serves the new menu. Dynamic codes are essential here. You don't want to reprint table cards every time your menu changes. Packaging. A QR code on your product packaging that links to a video showing how to use the product, a recipe page, care instructions, or your sustainability story. This is particularly effective for food products, skincare, or anything with an instructional element. It gives customers more information without cluttering the packaging with text, and it drives people to your website where they can browse and hopefully buy again. Business cards. A QR code on a business card that links to your Google My Business profile, your booking page, or your LinkedIn. It's better than printing a website URL because it is one tap for the recipient rather than them having to type anything. Some people put a QR code that opens a pre-populated contact card on the recipient's phone, which instantly saves your details. Printed marketing material. Flyers, signage, pull-up banners, any printed material that you want people to take action on benefits from a QR code that goes directly to the relevant page rather than your homepage. A flyer promoting a specific class should link to that booking page for that class, not your general website. For a product, should link to that product's page. Reduce the steps that a customer needs to get to where you want them to go. Window signage. A QR code in your shop window that people can scan when the shop is closed, linking to your online store, your booking page, or your Google business profile. Foot traffic that arrives outside your opening hours does not have to be lost in traffic. Receipts and packaging inserts. A QR code on a receipt or a card included in a package that asks for a Google review, links to a referral program, or offers a discount on the next purchase. This is a high conversion placement because the customer has just completed a transaction and is in a positive state of mind about your business. One thing to always check: before any QR code goes to print, scan it yourself on 2 different phones. Check that it loads correctly, that the page loads quickly on mobile, and that the destination is actually what you intended to link to. QR codes on printed material are permanent. Once they go out, if the link is wrong or the page is broken, every person who scans it hits a dead end. If you're using dynamic codes through Bitly or a similar tool, build in the habit of checking your link's URL every few months. Check for changes, pages get deleted, websites get redesigned. A dynamic code whose destination no longer exists is just as useless as a broken static code. Basic QR codes are free and easy to create in Canva or any free QR code generator. For anything you're going to print at scale or use in an ongoing way, dynamic QR codes through a tool like Bitly are worth the small monthly cost because you can update the destination without reprinting and you get the actual scan data. Pick one place in your business where a QR code would actually make it easier for a customer to take an action. A menu, a business card, a window sign. Set it up this week and track it for a month. See whether anyone is actually scanning it, and the data might surprise you.